Hey YouTube, a Fistful of Goats here, and on Tuesday I went to my local's monthly Jank tournament where we play weird and wonderful decks. I decided to play Monarchs. It's one of my favourite decks of all time. I haven't played it in a while, but since regular Monarchs is getting kind of boring, you just drop the domain lock, I decided to make an extra deck variant, splashing in the Dogmatika and the Branded engines. So yeah, let's go. Starting off with my Squires, we have 2 Adia and 2 Eidos. These are the best way to set up tributes for the Monarchs in the deck. I think for this deck again, I would up the Adias to 3, because in addition to being a great tribute, they combo really well with the Branded Fusion, as you can send Idea and Form of Albaz off the Branded Fusion to recycle your Monarch spells, either Monarch Stormforth or Pantheism of the Monarchs. For our Monarchs, we have triple Aether. This is the best Monarch in the deck because it can be summoned during either player's turn. You can get another Monarch out of the deck for next turn. It's a very good body. It's our best combo with Stormforth, as it can potentially a sniper card from their field and their hand. 2 Erebus, the second best Monarch in the deck. This is what we usually get off of Aether. And then next turn we can, when it gets bounced back to our hand with Aether, next turn we can summon it out and strip a card from the opponent's hand. It's also because of that effect, it also makes it a pretty good Monarch to go first with. And finally for the Monarchs, 1 Thestalos and 1 Kuraz. So Kuraz, it's just good card draw. It can pop our Monarch spells we want in the graveyard. Thestalos is one I want to take in because I do play the red layers in this deck, so I can actually trigger its second effect and do over 1,000 damage, which is great in time. To be honest though, this didn't cut that much, so I'd probably cut it for more Squires next time. For our last tribute in the deck, 2 Vanity's Fiend, because in a lot of games this is just an auto win. Shooting special summons is very hard for a lot of decks, especially at jank events to come out of. Next we're going to go for the Dogmatika engine. Starting off we have 2 Ecclesia. The Dogmatika engine is very light in this deck. I chose 2 to keep the deck at a decent size. Basically, if I get a Branded play off or an instant fusion into the Crystal Wing, I can summon this, get punishment, and set up my plays. Speaking of that, we have double Dear Servant. This can get us Ecclesia to get punishment. It can set our various utility extract monsters to the grave. This is a really good card. And finally, the Dogmatika engine, of course, the 1 punishment. It's removal, and it can be double removal if you send a certain card in the extract with it, which we'll talk about in a minute. And finally, it's not like a card, but it's used with the engine. Shaddoll Schism, because if we don't want to go for a pop, we can send the Shaddoll. So let's go look up the name. Aclapone to the grave. Search this and set up a window lock. So that's the Dogmatika engine. Then finally we have the Branded engine, which is 2 Branded Fusion and 2 Fallen of Albaz. Again, not playing 3 of either of these because of space, but Branded Fusion, you know what this does. The Branded engine was really good until Splight and Tear Elementals came out. But in this deck, what's really good is, because you're sending cards from the deck to make your fusions, you can send this with Albaz and recycling your Monarchs cards. Kind of like what we used to do with Brilliant Fusion back in the day. So yeah, that's the Branded engine. Moving on to the other monster in the deck, it's triple Quantum Red Layer. This is just a way to get a quick tribute to the board if necessary. It can be used to make the rank 5s we play in the deck, and if you tribute it for Thestalos, you get the additional effect for some burning time. Honestly, this didn't really count that much. I'd probably cut this. If you play this deck again, play a 3rd Adia, maybe a 3rd Branded Fusion, and something else. For the Monarch spells, triple Pantheism. This is what we usually want to recycle the most of the Adia. You discard a Monarch spell and draw 2. So you get set up your graveyard with Monarch spells you want in the grave. You get 2 card draw. And when this is in the graveyard, you can banish it, pick 3 Monarch spells and traps, and your opponent puts 1 into your hand. Now obviously you ideally want to pick 3 of the same cards, they've got to give you that card. And then once it's there, you can start recycling it. So glad this card came off the list eventually. Speaking of which, the second best Monarch spell, the Monarch Stolen Forth. It's a quick play soul exchange. It combos really well with Aether, because Aether can be 2-hit summoned during your opponent's turn. So this is good disruption if you're going first, and it's a good way to break boards if going second. I apologise for the different rarities, but I couldn't find my third regular one. And triple tenacity. This lets us search the cards I've just shown you by revealing a Monarch or a Dark-Armed Dragon, funnily enough. So you know how much more to say about this, just makes it a bit more consistent. For our Monarch trap, we have 2 Prime Monarch. You discard this off of Pantheism, and then it can be special summoned from the grave as a level 6 by banishing a Monarch card. So it was level 5, sorry. So this sets up your level 5 Xyz and your Zolkin for Crystal Wing, or it can be another good tribute for Vanities or a Monarch. And those are the Monarch cards. For the non-Monarch spells, triple Allure of Darkness, triple Allure of Dark cards, so more card draw is good. And finally, 1 instant fusion for the Sea Monster of Theseus into the Crystal Wing, and Call by the Grave, because even in a janky event, if someone does play a hand trap, then this can help your deck not just get destroyed. Okay, that's the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. Double Mirror Jade, boss of the branded engine. It's removal. It's a board nuke. It's destroyed. This is one of the best fusions in the game right now for a reason. But differently to other branded builds, we actually are running 2 copies of Albion along with 2 copies of Lubellion. Since we want to trigger a Dia off of branded fusion when possible, you actually need this. Because it's the one that we make with a light. It's not ideal because you don't get to recycle your cards like with this one, they get banished instead. But sometimes it's worth it to get the extra plus off of a second Pantheism. For our Dogmatica cards, we have 1 El Shaddoll Winder, 1 El Shaddoll Alcapino, and 1 Elder Entity and Entes. Now, you're not making either of these 2, you're sending them off of your Dogmatica cards for their effect. This one gives you a pop, this one gets you Schism to make Winder, because what you do is you send this off of punishment, you get the Schism, you set the Schism, then you use the Schism with this and a Dark Monster to make Winder and lock your opponent out of special summoning. Sea Monster of Theseus for the instant fusion. As I go along with that, we have the Zolkin Crystal Wing. If I can't get the branded engine play, this is still a negate with protection, which can sometimes be enough, especially in a janky event like this. And for the Xyz, 1 the Zombie Vampire and 2 Pallades. Pallades, another bit of interruption. This could be any rank 8. You could play Hope Harbinger or any other rank 8. I like this one because it gives us recursion. And that's most of the deck. The sideboard you've pretty much seen before. It's triple D barrier, double Lancia, 1 Pankratops, Harpies, triple Dapple Namoa, double Lava Golem, and triple Mystic Mine. Again, no one was really using this side deck today because this is more of a fun event, so nothing really came up here. But this is pretty much the generic set I use in most of my decks, so why not? Yeah, so the Jank event was really fun. I think if I wanted to play this deck more seriously, I'd probably play either my Tri-Brigade cards or an Eldritch bit instead of the Monarchs. But I'll definitely play this again in the Jank event next month. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.